Paramatmane Om Namaha Om Parabrahma Paramatmane Namaha Om Parabrahma Paramatmane Namaha. He Parabrahma, He Paramatma, He Parameshwar, He Anam, He Ajat, He Param Prakash, He Divya Jyoti Panch, He Param Shunya, He Param Sakshi, He Mukta, He Parampita, He Parabrahma. Whenever we talk about the ultimate truth, words are never going to be enough. Words are made of alphabets. Alphabets are made of seeds. They are made of seed sounds. And the seed sounds are very, very powerful. Like when we chant, we don't say, we just chant. So it is a certain thing. Makes you feel very still, very calm, very open. So what happens when you're still from the inside? What happens when your eyes are very much open, but you're completely still inside? Not much happening. Sometimes nothing is happening at all. Little bit is bound to happen. But a lot of things that were happening are not happening anymore. A lot of things that happened in your life, every day, every hour, suddenly you enter a phase when nothing like that is happening anymore. As if you have entered a new phase of your life. As if you have opened a new chapter of your book, which you were studying, and this time, right on top, it is called life. We are talking about that. We are talking about those seed sounds that are tremendously powerful. When they resonate within you, if you chant, and you keep your eyes closed, and experience what is happening as a result of this chant. There is a certain kriya that will begin, a certain pattern that this chant will lead to. Let's say if you drop a pebble into a pond, what will happen? Or into a pool of water, what will you see? You will see ripples. If you pick up a bigger stone and throw it, you will see that the ripples will last for a different duration of time and it will have a different impact. So it depends how you are chanting, which seed sound you are chanting, how many times did you chant, and what was the process that you followed when you were chanting this mantra. You cannot just take out a mantra from an online source or from Google or from any book and start chanting it without any instruction, without any elaborate description as to what it is, what it does. How will this chanting become fruitful? Is this chanting needed for you? If it is needed, how can you make it fruitful for you? Let's say if we pick up a very common mantra. It is a very common mantra. Everyone knows Om Namah Shivaya. It is a common mantra. Is it an ordinary mantra? No. It is not an ordinary mantra. It is a Maha Mantra. It is not an ordinary mantra. It depends how you are chanting it. It depends what is the process that you are following. You can chant it without creating sound orally. You can chant it inside also. In your mind, you keep chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. It will happen in a certain way. But how are you chanting it inside? There needs to be a process. And that process has to be described elaborately. So that process is called initiation or Diksha. How Om Namah Shivaya needs to be chanted in your mind. And not just chanting it, but you have to do some more things in your daily lifestyle. Maybe you will have to, when you are doing it, you need to have a certain ambience. You need to have a certain setup, even though it could take very small size. But that setup should be there. So those are called niyamas or rules or instructions, whatever you want to call them. They have to be followed. If they are followed to the T, and if you keep doing it without any expectation of any kind of fruit, you are just doing it because initially you want to do it. If you do it initially just because you want to do it, and if you do it without any expectation, the moment you have expectation, thoughts will come in, desires will come in. That will make it very cheap. That will affect your, what we call it, your sadhana. That will affect your aim or aiming. You will not be aim to hit at the blind spot. Okay? Or at the center of the point. You will not be able to hit it. The focus won't be there because the focus is somewhere else. Instead of focusing on the mantra and the science that it is leading to upon your human anatomy, if you focus on other things, material expectations, material desires, etc. That if I just sit down and chant Om Namah Shivaya in my mind or through japa orally 108 times, is it going to work? Well, whether it works or not, that is not the ideal way to approach it. It is not the ideal way to approach it. The ideal way to approach it is very simple. And yet, as per the rules, as per the instructions, as per the science, not, not something else. Not on the basis of some silly desires. Because it is a very powerful mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, even Omkar, lots of mantras, they can bring changes in your human anatomy. They can even bring changes in the way you think, the way you talk, what you talk, and a lot of things. The way you live your life, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you meditate, it will take you ahead on that path also. You will become a lot more focused. You will feel a lot more alive than drained out. So either you can feel drained out, or you can, through karma, or you can experience being more alive. You can even taste nectar, you can even experience bliss. It depends. So initially, you start with a desire. The ideal way is this. You start with a desire, I want to do this. Okay, let's say you want to learn. You are a seeker, just a seeker, nothing less, nothing more. Just a seeker, someone who wants to know. Know what? Know the truth. Because we don't know. It's as simple as that. You have to acknowledge your status, and then you have to go looking for the Guru, for that Guru who knows as well, who knows and who can help you. Not someone who is always looking into your wallet. Otherwise, if that is happening, then that person already does not know. Right? So it is like this, that that person is already clouded with greed. Greed can lead to a lot of things. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Greed will lead to attachment. Attachment can lead to jealousy. It can also lead to ego. And it can lead to anger, rage, fury. It can also lead to lust. They are all interconnected. Okay? So if we have to rise above this, if we want to rise above all of this, if we want to become more pure, to become pure, not more pure, but pure, if we seek purity, if we seek the truth, then according to people, Om Namah Shivaya is a simple mantra. It's a very common mantra, everyone knows. But not according to science. Om Namah Shivaya is not an ordinary mantra. It is a Mahamantra. Even Om in itself is a Mahamantra. There are some more Mahamantras. We are not going to reveal them right now. We are just sharing with you some mantras which most of you have probably already heard. Now, Om Namah Shivaya, these things are written on almost many temples. At least Shiva temple, you will always find Om Namah Shivaya. Isn't it? So, and on top of every temple you will find Om written. So these things are there. Okay. Now in Om Namah Shivaya also Om is there in the beginning. Then there is Namaha. Then there is Shivaya. That's it, isn't it? So, what is this? How is to be approached? So, approach in the beginning is the desire, the seeking to become pure, to know, to purify yourself, to know the truth, right? To rise above the bondages. So, this is the goal. This is the seeking. This is a good seeking. Now, what will, suppose you are given this mantra, you are initiated in this mantra by the Guru, the true Guru. About whom it has been called Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. So Guru Tattva is one of the tattvas. This is very subtle tattva. This is way beyond. This has got nothing to do with 5 elements or Panch Tattva or Pancha Mahabhuta, which we already know of. This is a different tattva. It is called Guru Tattva. So this tattva is also there. So it is possible. Now, but there will be initiation. There will be instructions which you will have to follow to the T. If you follow them to the T and do the practice and do all the necessary things that you've been asked to do, then what will happen? Then what will happen is that you can even experience, some people can experience a lot of calmness. You can experience feeling more alive than normal. Normally you feel drained out sometimes you're excited, that's fine. Being fully alive is a different thing. Being calm is a different thing. Most of us have not experienced that state. Most human beings have not experienced that state. But you can experience that state through this. You can even experience Ananda through this state. In this state. Right? Through the process. So it has got an impact the way you chant the mantra, the process that you follow, the connectivity in case you are able to establish, the help from the Guru, the following of the instructions, the changes here and there that you bring in your lifestyle, they make the difference. And the more you practice, the better you get at it. You learn a lot. So one can chant in various ways, at various layers or levels like that. Initially, you have to first learn how to just do that, nothing else. At that given moment, you're just chanting, that is all. And you're totally immersed in that mantra. As long as you don't dive into the ocean, how will you enjoy the deep diving, like they do? Deep diving, scuba diving, whatever it is. So as long as you won't dive deep and roam around in the ocean or in a river or any place or in a sea, how are you going to enjoy it? So you have to totally immerse yourself. This is a lot more than any kind of diving, any kind of material. thing. This is a thing that will conquer the source of all material desires, which is the mind. That is the meaning of a mantra. So you immerse yourself into this mantra only, nothing else. This mantra has that power. It has got the power to suck you in. So some people will say, I don't feel anything, I chanted it. So see, this is a total. The thing is, the whole process is the processes of immersion. The processes of keeping your bag and baggage aside. And at that point of time, you're not doing anything, you're not thinking anything. And your only focus is upon the mantra. You're not here with any expectation, any fruit. You're not talking to somebody inside. Don't do that. Never do that. Never talk to anybody inside. It's a bad game to play. It has got no place in truth or yoga, whatever. It has got no place in dharma also. So talking is not going to help. But doing will. Okay? Right? Yeah. So we have to immerse ourselves. We have to dive into the mantra. We have to feel everything. Sometimes we will not feel anything also. It will just happen. It will flow. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. So there are different ways of doing it. When you're doing it this way, then everything has become very still, very calm. In the previous time you're doing it, there was kriya in it, you were flowing in it. It was leading to a process, one process after another happening inside you. And there are more ways then to do it. So the immersion is very important. Nothing else happening except the chanting. But you're chanting not because out of some learning. The chant of each thing, whether it is Om or whether it is Namah or whether it is Shivaya, it must be aligned with the way it is. Okay? And it must also be aligned with you. So right now, you are only there. You are nowhere else. You are only in the mantra. You are nowhere else. When you are doing it, you are only in the mantra. You are nowhere else. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya. So you are aligned with what? The mantra is each chant, each part of the mantra is aligned with what? You are not making it flow. Whatever flow it has, it will take its due course. You don't have to force anything upon it through your mind. You don't have to decide how long should I chant Na Ma Shi Vaya. You don't have to decide. You don't have to decide how you have to chant Om or how. You don't decide. It will be different. It can get different. Okay? You can't decide. You won't decide. You should not decide. The moment you start chanting like this, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, it is like Ratantu Tota, which means like a parrot which has memorized everything by heart. When we were all children, we used to do kantastha. Kantastha means we have memorized it by heart. Read it and memorize it by heart. So read it again and again and again and again. That is called kanthagara, kantastha. Memorizing by heart. So it is called ratantu tota. The parrot who keeps saying, me too, like that. Or whatever you will say. You will say, alu, it will say, alu. Whatever you will say, it will also say. It is a great mimic. Okay? That is what a ratantu tota is. Ratta. So it is like that. So you don't have to do that. That is not the science that has been passed on to us, passed on to the yogis by the sages and the seers, the Rishis and the Munis. That is not the science that they have. That is not the science that has come from the Deva or the divine. That is not that. That is not the science that we have been given. That is not the Vidya that we have been given. Our Vidya is not theoretical. Of course, some theory is also there. But it is practical. Totally practical. Whatever is there in theory has to be implemented in life. And then there are some things that are not there even in theory. So those things are completely practical. They are shared only by the Guru. Nobody else can share it with you. And that is called initiation. Or Diksha. And that is the beginning of the Guru Shishya Parampara or the Guru Disciple tradition. Okay? And you become the part of that tradition. Okay? It is the Himalayan tradition. It is the tradition that the Rishis and the Munis began, and of course the Deva are also involved in it. So without their blessings nothing can happen. So there is also a thing about Ishtadeva, how to do. So if this thing is your Ishtadeva, then you have to chant Om Namah Shivaya. So something will happen. Okay. So everything is there. A lot of things are there which I cannot explain in brief. But a lot of things are there that can only be learned elaborately. Okay. Not everything can be passed over just like that. Okay. So there is a way, there is a process. But it is a saying that if you are a true seeker, it is not a saying, it's a fact. If you are a true seeker, you will find a true Guru. Huh? What? Yeah. So it is like that. If you have any iota of truth in your seeking, if you're totally committed to your seeking, no one can stop you. No one is going to stop you. So it depends what you make out of what. These sharings, it does not matter whether you have 10 rupees in your pocket or 1 rupee in your pocket or $1 billion in your pocket. It does not involve any cost. But so some things are being shared, but not everything can be shared, because it takes a lot of elaboration. And different students or different students, seekers, they understand in a different language, because everyone has their own questions. Okay, so some things can be shared en masse, some things cannot be done en masse. Diksha or initiation cannot be done en masse. That is not possible. Cannot be done, because different people have got everything different. Everyone is kind of like a huge cosmos in themselves, and then there is the higher entity also inside that mechanism, inside that cosmos, which is called you, I, whatever you want to call it. That is also there. And then there is something beyond that also, which is inside. That is also there. So everyone has their own thing. Everyone has their own thing. When I say thing, this thing has got many meanings. But I cannot elaborate, and I don't want to elaborate the multiple faces of this word that I am mentioning as thing. That everyone has their own thing. It is multifaceted or multifaceted, whatever you want to call it. Because most of us, what we think we are is not who we are. Okay. If you knew, then you would not have been a seeker. If you knew, even those who are not seekers, even they don't know. Even those who are seekers, even they don't know. Otherwise they wouldn't have been seeking. The only difference between a seeker and a non-seeker is a seeker at least seeks. And if the seeker is totally committed to the seeking, then the truth one day or the other will definitely come. The process will definitely come. Then it's up to hard work, discipline, all that also. There are obstacles also, there are questions also that will come in the path. And again, you have to go to the teacher or the master, the guru, and again you have to put the questions in front of that. And they will answer your question. That is their duty, that is their job. So these things are there. So basically, when we are chanting a mantra, it is very important not to be a ratantu tota, not to memorize something by heart and then chant it that way, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Even will have a good impact, no doubt about it, because you are doing some sattvic thing. But the power, exploring the powers, if you really want to explore the power of the mantra, dive deep into it. And if you want to explore it even more, go to the shelter of a true guru, a realized being. And that can only guide you towards or on the path of the ultimate truth, the eternal truth. Otherwise, it's not possible. And of course, there will be processes, signs, instructions that will be involved in it. And you will have to keep implementing them. So all these things are there. And a lot more things are there that are from external sources, like the outer world that we are living in. Let's say we are living, for the Grihasthas, we are living in a society. So you have got maybe children or whatever, family or neighbors or whatever. So it's an interconnected world. It's a collective human society. So human beings are just like, like there are, if you go to a jungle, there is a leopard territory. Bagh ka ilaka means it's a leopard territory, let's say. And that is a snake territory. That is the territory of that particular cobra. Anyone goes near will just get, what happens next. So one cobra is enough to make a small place its own territory. Okay. So like that, there are territories. So the human beings also have their territory. We are trying to make too much out of something very ordinary, and that is because of the inflated human ego. So you have to get out of the zone of that inflated ego. Okay? Just leave the human society, which they call as the world, the so-called world, in which they act as if they are the rulers, they are the carers, they are the guardians, they are the ones here who are the saviors. Human beings almost act as if they are gods. They are not. We are just another tribe, species, whatever you want to call it. So, but we have access to a very powerful science, which is there, which has its roots, which has gone on for a long time. Long time. So when Sri Ram was here, Prabhu Sri Ram was here, Lord Sri Ram was here. Lord Sri Ram should not also be called just the Lord. He is actually Prabhu. Understand? Prabhu means, Lord means like there have been a lot of lords, in this world. It's not the right word for a Prabhu. Prabhu is a more beautiful word. Lord is more like, like as if you are a, landlord. You must have heard about the landlord. So they are the lord of this land. They are the lord of that particular land. So they are called the landlords. So earlier there used to be landlords in India. And in every part of the world there used to be landlords. Even today there are lots of landlords. Are they really the lords of that land? We are not sure. Their actions don't speak as if they are lords. but we still call them Lord. So since the word Lord has been used in that fashion, landlord also means if you are a tenant, you are going to rent a place, you have to speak to the landlord. Okay. So Lord is being used even for everyone. It could be anyone. It could be used for anyone. So it's better to say Prabhu Shri Ram instead of saying Lord. Prabhu is a very beautiful word. It is a word in Devanagari. So Prabhu is a very beautiful word. Why? Because Prabhu has got bhakti in it, devotion in it. Prabhu has got bhakti rasa in it, rasa in it, the rasa of devotion. Prabhu can make you feel blissful. Devotion can make you feel blissful. You can dance in it. You can sing it. You can write poems in it. You can just sit still in it also, with your eyes closed. You can perform any kind of action being in that state. It is called a state of bhakti or devotion. It is a different kind of devotion. It is a spiritual devotion. So when we talk about the story of Prabhu Shri Ram, it's not a story, but it's a thing that happened in history. It is history. So Prabhu Shri Ram is also used for the ultimate truth. Ram is also the name of the ultimate truth. Ram is also a mantra. Just chanting the word Ram. Ram. So some people say that chanting in the mind is more impactful than chanting orally, right? Of course, there are two ways to look at this. If you are chanting like Ram, 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 the mind chanting will be more effective. But if you are chanting Ram the way it was just done prior to this, then the vibration is very impactful. Okay, so these things can change your life. If you do it just for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, then it's not going to change your life. In your whole life, if you do something just for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, it's not going to have much of an impact. But if you do it the right way it should be done, with alignment, with what? With just being immersed in just that, in that moment. Nothing else. Nothing else must come. It's an obstacle. Otherwise it's an obstacle. Otherwise there's a bada. There's an obstacle. We have to get rid of it. And then we have to go to the Guru, and the Guru will find a way to get you rid of it. So normally what can happen is that you can get immersed in it. And how to get immersed in it, that in itself is a complete process that has to be explained. So if we get immersed in it, to not think anything, to not bring anything in between, if we do not have any expectations, We are just doing it because we want the truth, isn't it? And let's say Om Namah Shivaya. It's a beautiful mantra. Shiva in itself is so powerful. Shiva, it's a representation of the ultimate truth. Shiva is not associated with anything. It is not associated with anything. When I say anything, it means anything. It is not associated with anything. And right as we are speaking, we are actually in that period when those who know, it is a very important time going on. So Shiva is Tattva. It's a very subtle Tattva. So these things are very important. So Shiva is the representation of the ultimate truth. It does not represent anything. Anything visual, anything material. Anything material it is not representative of. It is straight away the representation of the ultimate truth. Ram is also a representation of that ultimate truth. These are all representations of the ultimate truth. And the ultimate truth is the way it is. It is not the way you want it to be. Or some people may have thought it out to be. It is not like that. So, of course, there are two aspects. One is the material world, which we see, which we can feel, we can touch, we can taste. That is one aspect. One is that aspect which is beyond all these things. They are not connected to the five senses. But the five senses are very useful in experiencing them also. The five senses can make you blissful if you have worked upon it, worked not upon the senses, but because the senses are just a medium. If you have worked upon that truth, if you have worked on the path of that leads to truth, if you have done what you have been asked to by your master or guru. So you have to focus on the mantra. You have to immerse in the mantra. Do not visualize anything. Do not try to see anything. Just have to focus on the mantra. It's a chant. That's all. There it is. This is a fact. And when you do it that way, the result of the chanting is tremendous. It's tremendous. The result of the chanting is tremendous. This is a fact. What? So when we are chanting Om Namah Shivaya, how are we going to chant it? We are not going to visualize anything. We are not going to think anything. Visualization is equal to thinking, to not think. This is a process. Mantra Vidya is a process to conquer thoughts, not to bring more thoughts. So you just do it this way. This is one way. There is another way also, in which you have to visualize a particular, let's say, a particular name. Okay? or you have to visualize a particular mantra, or you have to visualize a particular form. Okay, but that is a different path. That is the path. When you can't follow this path, then you take that path. That path is also there. I'm not saying that path is wrong, but no mistakes must be performed in that path also. You must know what to visualize, what to focus upon, and what not to. Okay, there are only a few things. But if you work this way, and if you are in the shelter of the Guru, if you are in the shelter of the Guru, trust me, you will be absolutely fine. If you are ready to keep trying, see, initially mistakes will happen. Some people will not make any mistake, they will just take to it like a fish takes to water. But some people can struggle in the beginning. So for those who are struggling, keep trying, don't give up. First day it did not work, or first time it did not work, no problem, try it again. Second time it did not work, no problem, try it again. Keep trying until you are able to make it work. So it will work, right? Trust me, it will work. If this won't work, another path is there. Okay. So last time we spoke about Shri Hari. So that path is also there. And this time we are talking about something else. This path is also there. Both are equally beautiful. We are not making any comparisons here, because it's of the same ultimate truth. But we can't go to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th, 100th. Today there are people are focusing upon anything. People are creating things upon which they can focus upon. That should not be done. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Have a guru. Have a true realized being as a guru for your sake. For the sake of truth. For the sake of yourself. Right? Yeah. Because you want to live life 100%, isn't it? So, coming back to the mantra. So when we are chanting the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, when we are chanting, we have to immerse in the chant. Nothing else. Nothing else should come as an obstacle. And we should not chant as a parrot that is memorized or that is mimicking. We don't need to mimic somebody, we need to memorize something. You already know the mantra, it's back of your head. This is Om Namah Shivaya. So every chant, every sound, everything coming out of your mouth, you have to experience it. You have to experience it. If you do not experience it, if you do not experience the sound of a certain kind of wind or another kind of wind, If you do not experience different things that are there in the mantra, that are there inside you, so if you do that, if you focus on that, and if you do chanting in that way, focus on every little dot, and that is immersion. That is what is immersion. And you're flowing with it. The flow, as I said, it can also be completely a straight line. It can also be a flowing line. It is like that. So you could experience being a pond. You could also experience being a river. Pond is stagnant, river is dynamic. Both things you can experience. You can experience complete calmness, or you can experience tremendous vibration, tremendous energy. Both are aspects of life. Both have to be experienced. So do both of them. So mantras have layers, different kinds of layers, varieties. There is a variety. Okay. So we will explain more on this particular subject in the next part. Okay. In our next discussion, in our next sharing, we will be doing this. We'll try to throw more light, throw more light. Yes, that is the right word. And elaborate more. Okay. So right now you can chant this thing, Om Namah Shivaya, because we are in a beautiful time chanting. Okay. When you are chanting, please sit in an asana. Sit straight. Keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight, still. Don't lift it, don't bow it down, keep it still and chant. Get immersed in the chant. Don't be in a hurry to finish one chant. Don't try to count your chants. Do nothing like that. This is deep chanting. Go for deep chanting. Don't go for upper layers of chanting that are hardly making an impact. Don't throw an extremely small pebble, which is called kankada. Don't throw them into the river. Throw some bigger pebbles. With time, when the right time comes, we'll also ask you to throw bigger stones. It's not like you have to go to a river and throw these things. This is like I'm trying to tell you how you have to do the mantra chanting. This is also the road to bliss. Okay? This is also the road to what? It is the road to bliss. It's also the road to feeling life. Feeling more energetic, more vibrant. I can't tell you how much more energetic or vibrant you will feel than what you are already right now. I can't really tell you. You need to experience that through experience only. And this is a key to that experience. And I will elaborate more, throw more light upon how you can experience it through this particular tool or mantra or Maha Mantra, whatever you want to call it. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. So we will conclude with mantra devoted to the Guru, which is like this. This particular sharing we will conclude with the two mantras, and then we will throw more light in the next sharing. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om Trayambak Babaji, Guru Ramurti, Devaya Namah. Om Trayambak Babaji, Guru Ramurti, Devaya Namah. Om Trayambak Babaji, Guru Ramurti, Devaya Namah. Now please listen carefully. Om Trayambaka Babaji, Guru Ramurti, Devaya Namah. Om Trayambak Babaji, Guru Ramurti, Devaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 In the next sharing, we will also focus on or share on chanting inside without chanting orally. Thank you so much. Om